All right, let's talk about procrastination, but in a way you've probably never heard before. We're going to dive into a system that actually merges two ancient philosophies that are, on the surface, complete opposites. And look, this isn't about finding more willpower. It's about a much smarter design for your life. So let's get into it. I mean, this is the question, isn't it? It's the one that just haunts you when you're staring at your to-do list at the end of the day. You know what you need to do, you've got the goal, you've probably even planned it out, but for some reason, the action just doesn't happen. It's so frustrating and it's so easy to just beat yourself up over it. But what if it's not actually you? Seriously, what if the problem has nothing to do with a lack of motivation or some deep character flaw? Ancient Chinese thinkers had this idea that when we fail to act, it's because the system we're trying to operate in is just fundamentally broken. So here's the big idea. We need to stop trying to fix ourselves and start fixing our system. And to fix it, we're going to do something that sounds kind of crazy. We're going to combine two totally opposing ideas. So on one side, you've got legalism, which is all about building a rigid external structure with clear rules to force you into action. And on the other side, you've got Taoism, which is all about finding this effortless flow by working with your natural energy. It seems like a paradox, right? But the secret to real sustainable discipline is right there, in the middle of it all. Okay, so let's start with that first pillar, the legalist blueprints. Think of this as building the unshakable foundation, the steel frame for your day. This is the part that guides your actions no matter how you're feeling when you wake up in the morning. The core concept here is something called Fa. Now, the legalists, these guys helped unify an entire empire, they knew that willpower comes and goes. It's just not reliable. So Fa is all about removing the need for it. By setting these crystal clear rules, you completely eliminate that little voice in your head that says, should I do this now? Or maybe in an hour? Maybe after one more video? You just shut down the debate. The decision is already made. So how do you actually use this? Well, first, you have to codify your rules. And I mean, write them down. Don't just say, I'll try to start work early. No, your rule is at 9 a.m., I open my work document, period. Second, you have to enforce it. Make it real. Maybe that's an app that blocks websites, or maybe you tell a friend. And third, and this is crucial, you eliminate the loopholes. Decide ahead of time what the consequence is if you break a rule. What you're really doing here is becoming the architect of your own personal legal system. And here's the wild part. This super rigid structure is actually what creates incredible mental freedom. By putting all these little decisions on autopilot, you free up all that brain power to focus on what actually matters, doing the work. But okay, a system that's all rules and no flexibility, that's just going to shatter the first time life gets messy. And that's why we absolutely need the counterbalance, the Taoist wisdom of flow. If legalism gives you the strong riverbanks, Taoism is the actual river that flows between them. This Taoist saying is pure gold. It's a reminder that life isn't a straight line. You have energy peaks and valleys, your attention wanders. Trying to force yourself to be a perfect 100% productive machine all day long is like trying to make a river flow uphill. It's just going to lead to total burnout. The whole point is to align with how you really are, not fight against it. So how do we actually do this? Well, first, you start honoring your energy. You know when you have the most focus? That's when you schedule your tough, legalist-ruled tasks. Second, when you feel that wall of resistance go up, you use Wu Wei, which basically means effortless action. Instead of forcing yourself to write that report, just tidy your desk for 5 minutes. Do something easy to get the ball rolling again. And finally, and this is a big one, you let your system be a little messy. You allow it to be imperfect, to adapt. And now for the magic. This is where we bring it all together. We combine the hard structure of legalism with the adaptive, gentle flow of Taoism. This isn't a battle between rules and freedom. It's a partnership. And it's a partnership that creates a system that's not only effective, but also resilient and, well, human. So check this out. Here's what a day could look like. You start your morning with a non-negotiable legalist rule, like waking up at 7 a.m. No hitting snooze, no debating it. The rule is the rule. But then, when that midday slump hits around 2 p.m., you switch to Taoist Flow. You don't force it. You take a walk, you do some light reading, you work with your energy. And you end the day with a bit of legalist accountability, just reviewing your rules. Not to feel guilty, but to see what worked. You get the best of both worlds. And this really gets to the heart of the entire idea. Those legalist rules aren't a prison. They're the walls of a garden. They protect your time and your focus from all the chaos of the world. And inside those walls, you have the freedom to actually grow and do your best work. It's about being rigid without being fragile and flexible without being chaotic. So here's the deal. Procrastination isn't who you are. It's just a symptom of a system that's now working for you. So here's your experiment. For 1 week, just write three simple, non-negotiable laws for yourself. At the same time, just pay attention to your energy, like a Taoist scientist. At the end of the week, see what happened, and then you adjust. This isn't about perfection, it's about starting to build your own personal system for effortless discipline.
Like and subscribe for timeless wisdom.